how do you feel about this whole thing and about those responsible for it? You know, Malcolm had talked with all of us from time to time, indicating that he expected it. Do you think he expected it this soon?
Well, I have no idea whether he expected it this soon or not, but I think the press and the police attitude towards what he was saying about the different things was not very fair. The police and the press tried to make it look he bummed his own home, which was ridiculous. I mean, he had no insurance on the furniture or himself or anything like that. And now I guess they'll say he shot himself.
Can we just ask this? Malcolm said he knew who was responsible for the conspiracy. Now, do you know?
Well, you can speak to our lawyer, Percy Sutton.
I will, but
yes.
Do you know?
You can speak to our lawyer, Percy Sutton.
Mr. Sutton, do you have any statement to make at all about this?
No, I think Malcolm stated in an investigation that was held as to the circumstances on the fire last Friday that he stated then, and the evidence is before the police and the fire department as to who he believed were the persons attempting to kill him. And now he's dead, and I think we ought to review what he said then.
And those who opposed him, were not victors in their opposition, Not Malcolm or anyone, I remember Malcolm Message spoke about it at the Savior's Day meeting in '65 about the death of Malcolm, where Malcolm's brother Wilford also spoke on that tape. And the messenger mentioned that, that opposition to him is futile.
Yes.
And that even if Betty Shabazz
Right.
had adhered to the faith rather than to her fidelity to her husband, she would not have had anything to worry about. That we would take care of her.
That's right. He did.
But she did oppose them. But to show how truthful the messenger's words were, she passed at the hands of her grandson, who was named after her husband.
Yeah.
Where she was burned in a fiery death.
That's true.
Well, I see that as vindication of the messenger's teaching, Not that that was horrible. I see there's a lie manifesting the truth of his messenger, where he said not one word of what he teaches a lie.
John, I'm going to let you go with that, but I'm glad that you have the same mind that you have. And you...
Diabolical. I mean, did you see the smirk on John's face when he mentioned Betty being burnt? I mean, no remorse at all. I say this, that, if there was a top 3 of Malcolm haters within the Nation of Islam, John Ali is definitely it. John Ali was definitely one of Malcolm's top haters, but it's just, it's just mind-boggling how the argument with the Nation of Islam, whether it's being Demetrius or Demetric or Wesley Muhammad, 2 of the most biggest Nation of Islam apologists, whether it's being them, it's always a smokescreen when it comes to this. Wesley's not on trial. I think John should be on trial. Yusuf Shah, should be on trial. Clarence Gill Clarence Gill X, should be on trial. And many, Linwood, should be on trial. But the way that John had this sense of gratification and describing Betty is diabolical. I don't know. What y'all think? Part 5 coming soon.